Hey everyone, this is my Neuroscience of Awareness blog, and I've been watching a CEU class on the neurobiology of compassion, and I'm just going to do a quick few-minute video where I talk about that. So, compassion is actually a stress response, and I think this is really interesting. It goes to show you that in the same way that you have to build muscle and like tear muscles a little bit to make the muscle stronger, in the same way, if we kind of push ourselves through that stress response that leads to compassion, we actually get good benefits on the other side. So the stress response involves four parts of the brain. It's the insula, the amygdala. Those two parts kind of give us a warning that there's something going on. And then if you have compassion go on board, there's four parts. The next is the temporal parietal junction, and then finally the medial prefrontal cortex. The temporal parietal junction, what it does is it says there's something that this person is doing that I can do something about. And then it kicks it to the medial prefrontal cortex and it starts to kind of gear up for action. And if someone doesn't have that temporal parietal junction come online, what happens is their activities will be kind of more midline in that default mode network, where they'll do like a cost benefit analysis of whether or not helping someone is going to maybe be too costly for them. So if a person is able to make that choice to do something for the other person, apparently what happens where they extend compassion and maybe they buy someone's coffee and donuts behind them in the grocery store line for $2.50, just something like that. What'll happen for you if you do that is you'll have more executive function. So you'll actually have more of this ability to think about thinking that I've been calling the writer on my blog. And at the same time, your brain will like release something called, let's call it GABA goo, and it calms down the amygdala. So actually doing this compassion calms down your stress response. So you have access to higher thinking and more calm stress response. It's called the care nurturance pathways that you access, and you're also kind of training your brain to have greater resilience and that you have the capacity to give this compassion. And then also what the neuroscience is showing is that if you witness an act of compassion, you actually get, because this is all because of our mirror neurons, which are, they're called resonance circuits, because there's mirror neurons and there's two other things that together, we'll just call it these resonance circuits, where you see something and then it cues you, like you see someone drinking a glass of water and your mouth starts watering. So that was all like a long bit on compassion. But what I would say is when you look at the neuroscience, you get more out of it if you just go that extra leg and you provide a little bit of compassion rather than suppressing your feeling or being afraid that it's going to cost you too much. So go that little extra mile, give yourself and other people a little more compassion this week, and let me know in the blog below if you did that and how that benefited you.